Well, as the Chiefs celebrate their Super Bowl win from Sunday with the parade in Kansas City today, the losers in that game, the Philadelphia Eagles, now find themselves at a major crossroads in their franchise. As these things tend to go, they had both of their young coordinators plundered by other teams to take on head coaching jobs, and I'm sure much more of their staff will also be taken to join those new coordinators in their head coaching jobs. This is what happens when you're a young team, you got young coaches, everybody gets plundered. Now, everyone's saying, oh, the Eagles are going to be back. This is going to be easy. They're set up for a run. Are they really? I think the Eagles are in a really tough spot here. First and foremost, you lost your offensive coordinator. You lost your play caller, Shane Stein, going to the Indianapolis Colts as their head man. And I'm not a huge believer in Nick Sirianni. Honestly, he's just kind of the figurehead guy, but he's so emotional, kind of a dickhead all over the place. Real Philly guy, if you know what I'm talking about. But when you lose your play caller, it makes things so difficult on your offense because you have no idea who the replacement is going to be. It sounds like it's going to be their quarterback coach, but how good is he at calling plays? Now, everybody kind of has input, but man, it's a real art to be able to call plays in this league at a high success rate. And we saw the leaps Jalen Hurts took this year under this offense. He was great this season, had one of the best Super Bowl performances in a loss all time. But now where does that leave him? And not to mention, Jalen Hurts himself, you got to pay him now. He's not a first-round pick. You don't got him on a 5-year deal. He's only on a 4-year deal, and this is after his 3rd season. So you kind of need to start talking extension with Jalen Hurts. How much are you willing to pay him? It's kind of a mystery, you know. These quarterbacks are really difficult to get figured out. You don't necessarily know what the longevity is going to look like. Hurts runs a lot. We're seeing all these running quarterbacks get hurt. He separated his shoulder at the end of the season, cost him some time there. But man, he's got all the great intangibles, so that's what you want to invest in. Fantastic leader, was great on the podium after the loss on Sunday, and he took some real steps as a passer. Now you can question, he kind of disappeared in that second half, went 3 and out on a critical drive, couldn't move the ball, struggles to throw the ball sometimes in certain spots. So this is a big question mark, especially when we're talking about the money these quarterbacks want. It's going to be well over a $40 million a year contract. And Patrick Mahomes just broke the mold of having more than 12% of the cap taken up by the quarterback. So it's a very risky investment. You got to do it, but where's that set up the rest of the team? Because there's a lot of people who argue Jalen Hurts needs the supporting cast around him. The only reason they were this good is because they could pay an A.J. Brown. They have a Devontae Smith who's going to have to get paid here in the coming years. They can pay for their offensive line. They can rotate lots of running backs. They can pay for all those defensive players to get off the field and give them good opportunities. So it's a really interesting situation the Eagles find themselves in. I don't believe in their head coach. They need a new play caller on offense, and the quarterback situation coming from a large pay upgrade. And now let's not forget on the defensive side of the ball, their Eagles hire the Cardinals, not the Eagles. The Cardinals are hiring Jonathan Gannon as their head coach, which is kind of out of left field. He's a defensive guy to pair with Kyler Murray. And the big thing, this kind of really hurt the Eagles, them being the last team left. Nobody wanted this Arizona job. Multiple coaches were interviewing for it. Multiple coaches turned it down. Multiple coaches said they want no part of a $200 million crybaby at quarterback who does not work hard. But Gannon's going to take the leap. He's going to take this job. You don't know when your opportunities are going to be there. And honestly, his defense got absolutely cooked in the Super Bowl in that second half. They did not get a single stop in the second half. So maybe strike while the iron's hot, because one more season here, you lose some players to free agency, and maybe your defense isn't as good next year and people don't want to touch you. So I get it. Defensive head coaches, I don't love. The league is an offensive league. Everything is transitioning to offense. So, and when you have an offensive coach, he's your play caller usually, and you don't lose your play caller to other head coaching jobs. When you have a defensive guy, you bring in a bright young offensive coordinator, he's out for a head coaching job, and you have to constantly refresh with new play callers, new offensive guys, and it just really ends up setting back your offense, especially an offense that you're already invested in a massive amount of money in your quarterback. But Let's see what the Eagles are going to do. I mean, the defense was the best defense all year until the second half of the Super Bowl on Sunday. So maybe they'll be able to rebound, but they have a lot of free agents. They don't necessarily have the cap space with the Jalen Hurts contract coming in. I expect you have lots of guys you got to pay, and you can't pay everybody. So I'm not so sold on the Eagles right now. This is going to be a critical offseason for them. They do have 2 first-round picks. They do have a top 10 pick, thanks to the Saints. So that should help bring in some more reinforcements if you lose some guys to free agency. And hopefully, I mean, this is make or break it for Nick Sirianni. He's got to show he's an elite head coach. He is an elite guy, that it doesn't matter what the coordinators are. He's going to be able to identify talented coaches, bring them in that help his team flourish. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Will the Eagles get back there? Are they set up for a deep run? Hey, the last 17 quarterbacks to lose their first Super Bowl never have made it back. So Jalen Hurts, you're now on that list. Another guy like Joe Burrow on that list. It's a very interesting list when you think about it. But let me know what you guys think. Will the Eagles be back? Are these good hires for the Colts and the Cardinals? I hate the Cardinals move. Kind of like the Colts move. They need some offensive stability again there. But again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all tomorrow.